What's going on, y'all? This is Coffee with Jones, episode. I don't even know what episode this is. 2 or 3. This is gonna be episode 3. It's gonna be episode 3. Because I got these in concession. I got these all lined up. And I got my good friend, photographer extraordinaire, somebody I look up to in the photography game. It's Ashlyn Manghane. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm doing great. No complaints on this end.
Right on. So how's everything been going in this quarantine for you? Like how have you been maintaining?
Oh, Lord. Well, during the initial shutdown, photography just ceased to exist. So I had to get clever.
Right.
So I started doing skincare and makeup stuff. It's fun. I mean, it brings out the inner girl in me. So I get to do that when I want to.
Oh
And
yeah.
it brings in money. But now that we're in phase 2 instead of phase 1, I've been booking like crazy. It's been overwhelming, but an overwhelming blessing. So I am not complaining at all.
Yeah, cause I be seeing you when you be going live on Facebook, I be tuning in, but I don't know nothing about makeup. Like, let me just support my home girl real quick. Let me say something. I be paying attention. Okay. She I be like, okay, I don't know nothing about makeup. I just be watching. Okay. Maybe I can learn something. Learn what I don't know, but I be paying attention.
Yeah, you be in there leaving those comments, and I appreciate that. The support means more than people realize. Just someone to say you're doing a good job. That takes you from sometimes breaking point to breathing air again. So that I appreciate that.
Oh yeah. And which goes into how have you been staying creative like through all that? Like what when did you figure out, I gotta do this to keep my sanity? Like what keeps you motivated?
Well, my daughter definitely keeps me motivated because if you don't make money, you can't support her. So that's one. But for me, it's like I've been doing photography for 10 years and I got sick of the norm. So
Right,
for me, it's like I had to sit down and really think what photo shoots that I want to do that I've always wanted to do.
right,
And whenever someone hits me up to book a session, I'm like, I try to steer it in that creative direction. So I'm not doing the same thing over and over. And that has really changed the game for my business. My photos are phenomenal because I
oh
constantly
yeah.
feel challenged now.
Yeah, I see. I'm like, you really, like, I tell people when I first met you, we met on some photography stuff. Like, I remember you were chatting to me about my photography work, and I'm like, yo, I really like I paid attention to what you've been doing. I've seen like the growth and everything you've done. Like, you be doing some dope stuff, like yo, because Ashlyn from 10 years ago ain't the same photographer she is now. Like, it's like, gosh, dog,
Yeah, I give all my first clients a refund if I compare it to what I'm doing now. So
damn.
definitely come a long way, that's for sure.
Oh yeah. So what's like the most difficult shoot you had to do so far? Like what's the one that like drove you crazy? Like, you know what? Screw this, I'm done.
I think it has to be one where the energy is off. So you get there, you're so excited to like meet this person and bring that vision to life. And then they shut down like everything you have planned. So you want to do a certain pose, like, no, I'm not feeling that. I don't want to do that. That's stupid. But it could be like asking them just to smile. Like, I don't smile in photos. Like, I don't understand why you're asking me to do this. And I'm like, okay, first of all, you asked me to do this. So
Right,
I'm here because you paid me to be here, not because I want to be here, you
right,
know? And so if the energy is off, I feel like the whole shoot's off. So for me, it's like if I don't feel like inspired or if you're like blocking my creativity, I feel like the photos are just boring. And for me, it's like that makes it difficult because as I'm editing, I'm just like, why was I there? Like, what was the purpose of me being there? But other than that, I don't think anything's difficult. Like with shooting like all day weddings, maybe it can get long and you just feel tired. But other than that, like I don't think anything has been difficult other than like if the client's just not vibing with you.
right. That's how it is with even with music, like I can share the same thing. I've been like seeing being around people that's like they just be doing too much. Like, man, you was doing way too much. Get to the studio session, stuff be going way too crazy. Like, no, not in a bad, not on a bad way with me. It's like I mean, I hear stories about a buddy of mine, Altitude. Shout out to him. He told me he went to the studio one time, and he heard somebody in that mug sounding horrible. Like, man, he like terrible. And It's been night. It's been sessions where it was me, my boy Guy. It's like my boy too. Like when we in the session, like yo, two make you do it, get it till you get it right. Like he said, my name is attached to this. Y'all gonna stay in this joint till you get it right. And like talk about rough. I'm like, bruh,
Yeah.
I did this verse 15 times. I want to go home. Like, man, you getting this right. All right, boss.
Yeah, I mean, you put your name attached to something, so you definitely want it to be the best possible quality you can get. I can't tell you how many times I re-edit sessions, and like it just pisses me off because it's like
Yeah.
it was good the first time, but like when you had like a day to like look back at it, like I don't like this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, gotta redo it.
That's how I be. And that I was telling a friend of mine who's on the first episode, I was telling him like as a writer doing music, I wrote this one joint and first time I wrote it, it sounded good. I found a beat I was vibing to and I wrote to it. Then I recorded because I got my own home studio now. All right, cool, let me record this. It didn't sound right. So I said, let me take some words out and put something, just put another word and then make it mellow out. Did that, recorded again, still didn't sound right. So, scrap it. I rewrote the whole song over again and sounded way better. So when it comes out, the song you hear ain't gonna be the one that it started out with. Like, and I have to rewrite, and I never go back and rewrite stuff like that. This is like the first time I ever went back and rewrote a full song from scratch. Let me just rewrite this whole damn song because it sounded way better. And I knew I had something when I went back to when I went to record it that next morning. It took me like 4 or 5 takes, but the last 3 takes were the best ones. So I had like, which one do I like the most? And that's the hard part.
Yeah.
You came across anything like that when you edit, like yo, you looking at all the final shots, like which one is better?
Oh yeah, absolutely, for sure. And for me, it's like, how do I tweak them to look like the ones I like better? Because that's what it is. I'll give you an example. Last night, I did a family shoot on Sunday. I took 1,172 photos, and out of those pictures, I liked 158.
Damn.
Right, yeah, because a kid was involved, so the kid's constantly moving. You want to capture all the moments. I don't pose kids. I literally have a conversation like, do what you want to do, and I'm just gonna take pictures because then it comes off natural. They don't want to pose. And this girl was very energetic. She was cute. She was doing her own little poses. So I'm constantly moving with her to make sure like I capture their family like personality without altering it on my own. And the photos came out great. And so out of the 158 pictures, the ones at the end I like way better than the ones in the beginning. One, because in the beginning the lighting is not the same as at the end. At the end, sunset has happened. There's not a lot of harsh light, so you get everything you want in the beginning.
I think she froze. Yeah, I think she froze.
The lighting's kind of harsh, and so it doesn't really look like the end. So you have to like find a way to make the beginning look like the end, and that is like that's I think that's the most challenging part of editing for me. And on top of like I manipulate every single color you think about to make everything look a certain way. Yeah, but other than that, yeah, definitely. It's definitely trying to make everything look like your vision. It's hard.
You say you took how many pictures again?
I took 1,172 photos in an hour's photo session. I usually do like 500, 600. That sounds like a lot, but when someone's constantly moving, you want to capture the moment. I don't just like, okay, stand here and do this. I tell them to do something, and I said, however you interpret that, do it. I'm not gonna like show you because I want it to come across as natural. So as they're doing that, I'm taking photos. So I'm have the burst on sometimes. So it's taking 10, 15 photos of just them in the process of doing something. And in that off guard moment, I get the perfect shot. So there's a lot of how it takes to get the right shot. So yeah.
Man, that's why I tell people like when I did photography, I never shot people. Like I did, like people like take do a photo shoot. I do it. I don't like it. I just like taking like natural street stuff, like graffiti and like just random like natural stuff. That's my bag. I like to say I need to get back into it, but like that's what I just don't. I don't like the thing about I don't like people enough to do to do photo shoots like that. Like I'm a people person, but not to the point like stand like this, do like then I've literally had to do stuff like stand like all right, cool, there you go. There you go. Then
Yeah.
I don't want to do this no more.
I mean, landscape photography and nature photography are definitely things. There are some photographers that, like you said, just don't want to deal with people. Is like there's so many different areas of photography.
Oh
Like
yeah,
you would never hire do newborns. No, I'm good.
like have them newborn photography, them blooper pictures they be posting on Facebook where the baby spitting up and everything. That stuff is so funny.
Not even that is like the way they pose them, like pretend like they're like leaning on their own chin and all that stuff. Like it's so good. But I did newborn photography for her when she was born, and that was hard.
You
That
said
was
a
really hard.
man.
And I just had her in like angel wings and a diaper. I couldn't imagine like wrapping her and contorting her body and like trying to make it look like she's on the moon. Like I can't. There's only so much to my creativity, I would
That's
say,
a
at
bit
this
funny
moment.
too. I remember years ago, my aunt did a photo shoot with her grandkid. This was years ago, and that was the longest photo shoot. I wasn't in. I was just there. Me and my mom, we were just there, and it took them hours to get one picture. They one's crying and the other one's running around. Then you get one straight, and the other one start crying. It's like, dog. My aunt said she was so mad that they could get them pictures taken. Like the pictures, like we go to the house, we look at the pictures now, like that was a battle that day.
Yeah. Kids are a different story. They have their own agenda. So for me, I bring snacks, I bring music. I like let's have a dance break, and I we just dance it out. And then as they're dancing, I take pictures. I try to make it seem as like unforced as possible. Like go run around, and I just catch them like pictures of them running. So it's like you can't just tell a kid to sit still. Like
No,
it
that ain't
it
happening.
doesn't happen.
That ain't happening. That's not happening. And that's me. That even with me doing photo shoots as an artist, I don't like posing. I like just me doing my own thing. And while you catch me doing something, I like stuff like I'll pose if I want to, but if I don't, I never go and I'm gonna do this pose. I'm gonna do this pose. Like, just catch me off. Literally catch me doing something, and whatever, however it turns out, just that's the photo shoot. Like whatever happens that day, just take that. Cause I don't be having poses in my mind like that.
Yeah.
Because if
I
I
mean, it
do,
takes time to develop them for sure.
if I had poses, it'll be the same pose in every picture. I don't have it'd be the go-to pose. It'd be the straight go-to poses. And I ain't got many. I think I got like five. But
Mhm.
switching gears,
Okay.
you are, if y'all don't know Miss Manghane, she loves Marvel. But
Oh, I do.
she doesn't claim Captain Marvel. She claims Wonder Woman. Why Wonder Woman?
Wonder Woman was born a beast, okay? She was a kid kicking A and taking names. And so she made a name for herself as a kid with Captain Marvel, watching the movie at least compared to the comics. It just looked like she took the whole movie just to develop her skills, and it didn't even feel like she was that great at it. So for me, it's like if I'm gonna be a bad A woman figure, it has to be someone that I know is gonna like whoop butt. And for me, I just don't get that with her. Like, yeah, when she came on the end of Endgame and she did her little thing for like 2 minutes, cool. But she still wasn't the end all be all for the movie. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when I think of Wonder Woman, I just think like strong, beautiful, amazing. You know what I mean? So yeah, and she don't age. So yes, please.
Oh yeah. And it's like when I saw Endgame, uh I know when I saw Captain Marvel, like I was like, I'm not into origin stories. I hate them. So like me seeing, I was like, just get to the action part. Like I know what's happening. Just get to the action. When it got to the end, all right, cool, Marvel. I figured out what. Okay, I figured that out. Then in the end game, like she was in the movie. I think they say she was in that movie like about 15 to 25 minutes. People in the comments correct me if I'm wrong, but she's cool. Like she ain't one of my favorites.
Yeah.
So speaking of favorites, how did the effect of Chadwick Boseman affect you when you found out? What were you doing when you found out?
Oh man, that's deep. I was on my couch and I believe I was just scrolling through Instagram. I run my businesses through there, so I feel like I have to constantly be online to like interact or DM or whatever. And I came across someone like saying like RIP, and I'm like, no, 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 no. This
Oh yeah,
this is a joke. This
that's what I
got to
said.
be a joke.
That's,
I felt like my whole like I have goosebumps right now on my stomach. I feel like I want to throw up. Like that's how I felt in that moment. I'm like, I cannot believe this is real.
yeah, that's how I was like when I found out Michael Jackson died. I remember I was laying down in my on my bed, and the girl I was talking to at the time, she said, Michael Jackson died. I'm like, hell, you got out of there. Yeah, Michael Jackson ain't dead. Then I turned to the news. Oh, snap. He's dead.
Yeah.
When I found that Chad died, I was like, nah, this ain't real. They did this on sick joke. Wow. Then I'm like, then I immediately like, man, that's it affected everybody because everybody like, oh, what about the movie? What about this? I'm like, man, I've been marveling to see this coming from a mile away.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about the Black Panther movies going forward? What do you think they should do? Since
He was saying how much he lost weight and everything, not even knowing. And I think that comes with strength, like going through all that in secret
yeah,
and still coming out and being triumphant. He did a lot of movies sick and you wouldn't even know. He's just such a phenomenal person. He did a lot of like guest speaking and encouraging and visiting boys and girls, and just his life itself just was the epitome of Black Panther. Like he was a superhero off screen too. And that's what I appreciate most about him.
oh yeah, because I was when I found out, I'm like, because everybody was sitting back talking about like, yo, he looks sick and everything. I'm like, nah, he'll be all right. I was like, nah, he all right. He cool, he cool. I was like, nah, he all right, he all right. It's for a role. Then the Five Bloods came and like, all right, cool, cool, cool. It was for a movie. Then I'm like, then when he passed, like, what? I'm like, to do all that, to do what he did is like, I
Yeah.
don't know, like I got to ain't no excuse now. Ain't no excuse now. He did that sick.
Yeah. That's motivation.
Very.
Life comes and you got to take it in strides. You can't make excuses. And I definitely think of it that way. Especially during pregnancy. I actually know women that can't have kids. So I definitely did not complain at all through my entire pregnancy, because it's like, this is a blessing. This is a miracle and people can't do this. So I would never complain. I even had to have emergency surgery while I was pregnant with her. And even through all that, I'm like, nope, we're good. We're gonna be good. Because I mean, come on. You don't know if tomorrow or today is your last day. So it's like you have to live your life to the fullest. So you can't make excuses and like wallow in the negativity. You have to rise above it. And so
Yep.
yeah, I commend him wholeheartedly for what he did.
Yep. Exactly. And speaking of, have you been? Do you think they're going to recast Black Panther? Should they keep Shuri as Black Panther? What do you think they should do, or how they should honor Chad in this next movie?
Well, the rumor was going around that Denzel Washington's son was going to be the next Black Panther. He looks very similar, but he sounds like Denzel.
Yep.
And he's not as tall though. I think that's a good recasting. I do like him as an actor. I don't know if he's gonna do the role justice, because it's like when you already attach yourself to a character and like a person who plays that character, it's like no one else seems like they could do a better job. So I don't think anyone who replaces him is going to have the kind of impact that he's had.
Oh no.
So I don't care who they pick. I definitely want the story of Black Panther to be told with a part two, with the features of him in different, or him or her in different roles in different movies. But I can definitely say I don't think I'm gonna feel that impact like I did when Black Panther came out. Like all the Black celebrities were paying for like schools of kids to go see it. Like think of that for a second. Like this was our superhero.
Oh yeah. And I was telling, um, before we switch gears again, um, I was telling people like when it comes to superheroes like that, like I said, I expect when that like you said that was our superhero. That was the first after since Blade. This is like, but this is a whole different level. This is a black superhero from Africa. He was one of us. And it's like, this was dope. And I was talking about, we talking about Shang-Chi and the Ten Ring. I said, yo, I know all the Asian community gonna be hype about this movie. I know they're gonna be ready to see this movie. Cause that's somebody that looks like them, they can relate to. They need to do more movies like that. And I love that Marvel's getting more versatile
Yeah.
with their characters. I think Miss Marvel is what's the I forget. She's what ethnicity as Miss Marvel. She's I think she's Hispanic. Somebody correct me. I'm not. I can't call it the top of my head, but yeah, I like that they flipping and rebuilding and diverse, building more diversity in the Marvel community.
Yeah. I think in this day and age, it's kind of wrong not to be. With everything going on, it's like, why not just be inclusive? Your
Yeah.
audience is beyond one demographic.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's how it is. Like I like it. Like I like seeing this. Like I love it. Like I've never seen this much diversity in superhero movies in years. Cause we come up in an era where there wasn't a lot of black superheroes on TV.
Right.
It wasn't. We didn't have that many. Now it's like they just piling in. You got Luke Cage. You got a Black Panther. You got Nick Fury. You got everybody.
Yeah, most definitely. And I think it's important to show every race that there's a superhero that looks like them. I think that's important. That's an important story to tell, for sure.
Oh yeah. But oh yeah, I want to ask you, how did you get into photography? What was like that first thing that you know what? I want to do that. That's my thing. Camera, people, say shit.
Well, well, for me, it wasn't photography. At first, it was anything to do with computers. So when I was in high school, I did intro to television, video broadcasting. I did multimedia. I did graphic designing, and then I started off with film photography.
Okay.
And so I liked the aspect of using the computer and the technology, but the film photography just wasn't hitting it for me. So I didn't think of myself as like a photographer then. So when I applied for colleges and stuff, I got in for graphic designing. But it wasn't until I started digital photography, I was like, okay, this is perfect because I get to do the computer aspect of it. Like most photographers bring out your personality,
Right.
the way you edit defines who you are as a photographer, because there are some photographers that take phenomenal photos and maybe their edits just don't do their photos justice. And I feel like editing is where I can put my stamp on it. And on top of that, I love people. I love talking to people, interacting with people. um and so when you get to do the two, I felt like that's my career. I love it. I love it a lot. I love talking and making jokes, and yeah, I love it a lot.
See, that's kind of like how I got started. I did the multimedia thing in high school, and then I got into the radio. We had it like where we had the, I wouldn't say radio, yeah, kind of like radio too. It's like we had the whole thing at my school, so I got into that, and I went out try to go to the art institute, but gosh, that was expensive. Like
Yeah, I got in and I said, no, you ain't getting me for 30 grand a year.
I went there, they showed me the school, I'm all in, and then all right, they show you everything. Here's how much it's gonna cost.
Right.
I don't got that. I don't want to pay Uncle Sam all that money back after I'm done with this month. Got an education, but I'm still working at Walmart. I'm still nothing wrong working at Walmart. I'm just saying I'm trying to use this degree. But yeah,
Right.
I went to another school. I got into radio because they're all my family. Like, y'all do radio, do radio. All right, let me get this radio a shot. And that's when YouTube came in and everything. So like I got in the radio, like I do music and everything, kind of like the same like how you did. But it's like, yeah, it's been rolling ever since.
Yeah, I definitely think anything to do with your voice suits you because you have a very unique voice. And I definitely think that you should play onto that.
Oh yeah,
Um, that's definitely one of your gifts. Not everyone sounds like you, and that's great. That sets you apart for sure.
that's what I get. Like a lot of people say that. Like that's why uh my boy, he was mixing my song. I'm like, yo, it sounds weird to me. Like, man, he said, man, your voice is deep as hell, man. I gotta get it to blend just right on this track. For me, I don't like hearing my own voice back on any on songs. I'm like, I barely listen to anything I have. So once I put it out, I listen to it like 3 or 4 times. Then I put it out. Then I probably listen to it again. Other than that, I don't go back and listen to nothing I put out. I hate my voice. I always critique myself when I'm listening. I could have said that better. I could have did a little more breathing on that verse. So yeah, so everybody tell me I got a unique voice. So I try to use it as much as possible. My mom like, oh, you need to do some voice acting. I may do
You
that.
need to. I when before the hormones kicked in when I was pregnant, I sounded like all the time. You need to do voice acting. Your voice is this, your voice is that. Like I used to get made fun of all the time by strangers because the second they hear my voice, there was a joke, there was a punchline, there was something. But when I got pregnant, my voice definitely toned down. My laugh changed. I sound normal now. I get now that my voice sounds soothing, whereas before I got that my voice was annoying. I'm good. I'm good.
I remember when I first heard you talk for the first time, like, I don't know why she don't be talking. Her voice ain't that bad. Like, I think you said like people say I sound like a chipmunk. Like, no, you don't. You sound normal.
I I did. I was the same way as you. I hated to hear myself in videos and like comment to anything to do with my voice. I hated it because I was always the butt of every joke.
Wow.
My voice was really, really high. I get that from my mom. Her voice sounded so much like mine. I used to fool my dad. I'd answer her phone like, "Hey, babe," and he just thought I was her. And I'm like, "Dad, stop it. It's me."
Damn.
But now my voice definitely changed. Yeah, a lot. My voice changed a lot. I sound more like a woman.
But would you have done voice acting if that opportunity would have popped came across the table back then?
I definitely think so. I was very dramatic. I did different voices all the time. I used to do Elmo and Minnie Mouse, Mickey Mouse, just for fun. So I definitely played with my voice a lot, like the different tones of it. So I think I would have done it. I definitely think I would have done it.
Oh, we got the little homie. She want to say something. What's up, man? What's up,
Yeah,
little
she's
baby
right
man?
here.
How you doing? The little
You
homie on
want to
the.
say hi?
She's like, no, I don't
No,
feel
she's on her
like
my
that.
iPad.
She was my mom. Like I do, like
If I want to get anything done, I got to distract her. So
my mom. I do impressions all day. Like I do impressions. My mom, like, you need to do some damn voice acting. Like I am. Once the ball gets rolling, once I get going, it's a wrap. It's like once I get going, like once I get in the silly mode, it's a wrap. Like it's like it's a wrap. Like I think about doing voice acting because like people like Tony Baker and everybody do the voiceover stuff. Like I could do that, but I don't want to do that because somebody else is already doing it. I feel like I'm copying, running up on somebody's block. Like I can't do that. That's Tony Baker's line. I can't do that. I feel I'm to the point I don't even listen to
mm,
nobody else's voiceovers. But that's Tony Baker's. I can't do that.
now you can't have that mentality, honestly, because if you have that mentality, then you would never do anything because there's nothing new under the sun. That's what the Bible says, right? And
Hey,
so
thanks.
I started like my career in Vegas, which is the wedding capital of the world. So this market here is oversaturated. But you know what makes my photos and everything stand out? Me. And so I am the reason why they're booking, not because you know what I mean? So you
Yeah,
can't look at it like that. Your voice is so unique, you don't sound anything like him. So if you did voiceovers, they would hire you because of the way you sound. They won't compare you to anybody else. So
that's
if
fair.
you have to do things because you want to and not because anyone else is doing it. There would be no other clothing brands, no other makeup brands, no other photography, no other lenses, no you know what I'm saying? So you have to like do what you want to do for you, not be and don't think about what other people's doing. Even me, 10 years into photography, like sometimes I like pull up other photographers work, like why can't my photos look like this, and then I realize like that's not my style, that's not me, why would I want to be like that, like compared to like my photos, like the colors are boring, like I'm very vibrant with my colors, so I was like why would I want to tone down who I am to be like someone else. So don't ever like dull yourself so someone else can shine. Like don't ever do that.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Like with that, I mean, like it's just like it's so unique. It's like when I think of voiceover, that's the first one I think of, and I've heard people say like they don't even. It's like say, "Ah, you copying somebody else." But then again, like you said, there's nothing new in the sun. Even with music, that's why I try to make myself sound. That's why with music, my style is so different from anybody else's. I would like to say nobody really has a quote unquote style like mine, the way I go about attack music. But it's like when it comes to comedy, it's a whole different lane. Like I can do voice. I did one video. It's for my homegirl's son. I did a voiceover because he was looking. She had sent me a video with him, and I sent her a voiceover. She was like, "Yo, that was so funny." I'm like, "Yeah, Uncle Tony did that." That voiceover, like, yeah, I was hyped. She's like, "Yeah, it was a good voiceover." Like, yeah, I may start doing voiceover. I don't know. I may do it. I don't know.
Do it because you want to.
Yeah. Now, before we get out of here, top 5 favorite shoots you've done of all time.
Oh, you put me on the spot. Hopefully, none of my clients are listening. Girl.
There's another couple. There's 1,000 people watching this video right now.
I think everything I've done recently, something snapped within the last couple of months. I like made a new logo. I changed my
I
style
like yo pause
completely.
that. I love that logo. That is the dopest thing I've seen. That's dope.
Thank you. It's weird because when I tried to explain my vision to some people, they were like, "Oh, that's stupid. Like, why would you
And she
be
froze. Now she
explaining
froze.
a fox?" They didn't understand
Hold
my
on. Say
vision.
that
Like, even
again. You
like
froze.
after,
Say that
oh,
you.
I said, when I was trying to explain my vision to some people, they were like, "Oh, that's stupid. Like, why would you be holding a fox? That doesn't make any sense." Like, even showing when my graphic designer sent over like the rough draft because we were trying to like get colors and everything done. I showed them and I was so proud, and they were like, "Oh, like what?" Like little comments, and I'm just like, "Listen, you are not about to break me. This is my vision. This is what I've wanted. I've seen this for over 5 years, and I was like, this finally is coming into fruition. So I love it. I love it.
So why did
Okay.
you pick that name though too? Before you get in that, like, but you can finish that. But I just, how'd you get picked the
Get that
name?
question. I've been getting that question during every one of my photo shoots. So I changed my name to the Fox and Photo this year. So when I met my husband back in 2013, he told me I look like a cartoon fox. And yeah, and that is a really big compliment because that was his way of saying I'm a 10. He's not a traditional guy. He doesn't call me baby and all that stuff. He calls me Puff, which is like a nickname for the type of hair I have and the type of hairstyle I do. And so he's never been like the man to call me like what everyone else calls me. So calling me a fox was like a really, really high compliment because I'm not used to being called like certain things. So that was like over the top for me. And so when I got pregnant, instead of calling myself like a mama bear or whatever, I started calling myself a mama fox because
Right.
I'm a foxy mama. That's what I would tell people like, as a joke. And so Madeline's nickname is Maddie Fox.
Maddie Fox.
Right. And so when I changed my last name legally, I wanted to change my business name because my old name was my previous name. And I wanted to make sure like it won't be my name. It will be if anything ever happens in life, like I can branch other businesses off of one name. And so yeah, I wanted the fox to be in it. I actually wanted it to be called the Fox and Kit, which is a baby fox as a kid, because I wanted to do like stuff with me and my daughter involving my brand, but that was taken. The website was taken, the usernames were taken. It was like overdone with the Fox and Kit. And so I thought of like, okay, what about photo? The fox photo, the fox and the photo, the fox and photo. And finally the fox and photo stuck with me. And I was like, I really like that. So I looked it up. No one had the name, no one had the website, no one had anything to do with the fox and photo, like anywhere, not on Facebook, not on Instagram, not on Twitter. And I'm like, this is it. This is the name.
Cool. That's
Yeah.
dope. 'Cause like I said, I like the name. I was like, yo, this is dope. Cause I'm always the one to back my friends up. Like, always the one to hype stuff up. Like, yo, that was when I saw the logo. I'm scrolling. I didn't know what it was. At first, like, I had to go back and look. Like, oh, that's the logo. That's fire. Like,
Thank you.
it's like that'd be a dope T-shirt too. Like, get some merchandise.
That's what okay. You're the first to know because no one else knows. That's the second branch of my business. It's gonna be shirts and stuff.
Okay.
That's launching next year for sure.
I need a medium. Whenever you get, I need a medium.
Absolutely, because I have two logos, so I'm gonna play on to both of them.
Cool.
Yeah, I
That's
got you.
cool. Cause I got some stuff coming out for next year. I tell you off joint because it's like classified information. I don't want nobody to steal my ideas. And
Hmm.
a fox and that's some fire right there. Like I'm
Thank you.
proud of you. Like I'm proud of you. That's what I'm gonna ask. Are you ever gonna get your own studio, like a photography studio, or you just want to just keep it freelance?
So I worked in a photography studio for 5 years, and there's something so limiting about it in the sense that you're in this one spot. You gotta stay there. And so I did that for so long. Like I'm talking about sometimes it'll be 50 shoots a day, just cranking them out. And I don't like the look of artificial light.
Right.
I don't, I personally, at this time, I don't see myself being in a studio because I grew up in the Bahamas. So we're outdoors, we're at the beach, we're climbing trees, we're going on an adventure. So I'm so used to being outside. I just don't see myself having a job where I'm indoors. Like that's I'm a homebody, but when it comes
Right.
to like my work, I want to capture like the beautiful sceneries. Like that's where my heart's at. Like if I just sit out there without my clients in the quiet and you're in the mountains and there's deserts and birds flying, I just sit there and I'm just in awe of how incredible Earth really is. And
Speak,
so for me, it's like I want to put a person there and capture it.
right.
So yeah, I don't see myself doing that.
Speaking
The
of mountains, what's the how, how did is like those mountain shoots you be doing look so nice? Like I be like, how you be having the whole joint just in the backdrop and the sun be coming through at the right time and like she be on some like on the phone. Okay, what time the sunset? All right, okay, wait for it. Gotcha. Like, this stuff be looking.
kind of.
How does she put like the timing and like that be dope,
Thank you. It's a lot of planning and a
man.
lot of trying to convince your clients that they don't want to take photos at 12 o'clock when the sun is high and harsh shadows. Like, trust me with your whole wedding itinerary and let's do it at sunset.
Have you seen? She froze again. Hold on, people. She's gonna come back.
Yeah, it's a lot of convincing. Clients like, I know you're good at natural light. I know you're good at sunset. That's what I want. And the clients now coming to me knowing like what works for me and they want that to work for them. And that's the first time that's ever happened in 10 years. They come ready.
Right.
Sunset, got you.
But have you seen any crazy wild animals on them journeys in the mountains?
Oh, have I seen animals? Yeah, I've seen a lot of animals out there. It's ridiculous. I've seen bats. I've seen ground squirrels. I've seen mountain goats. Mountain goats? I think that's what it's called. I've seen all kind of things. Donkeys, wild horses. I've seen it all out there. I
Wow.
don't want to run into coyotes because they have coyotes here, and I haven't ran into one, but I've heard people that have. I'm good.
Yeah,
But yeah, I run into a lot of road runners, wild bunnies, everything you could think of. I run into a lot of them.
yeah, we got those. We got over where my aunt stays at. She got bobcats. So
Oh,
we used to go over there before COVID hit, and she like, yo, Tony, take the trash out. I so be careful before I go. Be careful, the bobcats out there. Like, well, thanks for telling me. Every time I go, like, you ain't got no guns in the house in case I get ran on my bobcat. It's just like, man, they send Tony out there to get attacked and ripped to shreds by a bobcat. But yeah,
that's funny. My favorite animal as a kid was a bobcat.
man, a bobcat. I don't like cats like that. Like, I
I don't like
want one
animals,
now.
period.
No, I want an owl. I told my mom I want a pet owl. She said, "Who are you, Harry Potter now?" Like, I mean, I can be that. But I don't want an owl so he can sit on my shoulder. I can walk through I can be outside with the little pouch for the bird food and bird food.
Do it.
But they say it costs money to get. They say you got to take all these kind of tests and learn how to take care. I mean, man, I ain't got time for that.
That's considered, I would think, an exotic animal because it's not normally a house pet.
I know. There's how many people you know got an owl besides
Mm,
Drake? How many people you know got an owl?
nobody. Nobody.
People be
I
so
think I think
jealous.
that's for a reason.
People be so jealous. You hear that boy June got an owl? You god dang right I do. Who do y'all got an owl? You send an owl on messages like, yo, give this person this message.
Did you still want me to answer your questions about my 5 favorite shoots?
Oh yeah. We gonna talk about that. Oh yeah, we gonna talk about that. I get off topic sometimes. It happens on this.
Okay. That's usually me. So when I remember stuff, I gotta ask.
Oh yeah. Cause I go off the sidebar all the time. It happens. But yeah, go ahead.
So I was saying it has to be everything I've done recently because everything changed. My logo changed, my editing style changed, even the way I take photos has changed. And so I feel like now my work is the epitome of what I dream of in my mind. So I did this shoot out in the mountains. It was in an airstream, and
Oh,
it was we designed it like a 90s diner
okay.
on the inside, and it was really cool. It's unlike anything I've ever done. So that's on my list. And then the second part of the shoot's on my list too because we did like a bunch of floral arches and stuff out in the middle of nowhere. And then they had their dog. And if anyone knows me, they knows I'm terrified of dogs. And it had this
Uh,
huge golden retriever. So the whole time I'm like terrified trying to like pose this dog and stuff. And so I think that challenged me more than anything else because I had to literally overcome a fear. At some points, I had to run away. I'm like, I just need a moment. I just need a moment. I just gotta settle down. It was just like my nerves just on end because they're as big as me. I'm short. I'm tiny.
oh,
So it was that one. And then I did this. He's actually a personal trainer, but I was like, okay, I know you want this type of photos, but I want you to just let me do my vision. We're going to be in the mountains in the middle of nowhere. It's going to be freezing cold. You're going to be shirtless and you're going to have a basketball. And he was like, what? And I'm like, yes, because nothing I do makes sense. And so when I come up with a weird idea, you just got to trust me. And we did that earlier this year. And there are so many people hit me up like, that was so unique. Like, I would never think of that. And I'm like, I don't want my photo shoots to make sense all the time. Like, I just want to be creative and I don't want it to like have to be on a basketball court. And I said, I just wanted to like, I just want to be me. And so
yeah,
when I think of that shoot, I think that's me. Like, I don't always fit in where I'm at. And so I like my photography not to fit in.
right.
So that's 3. 4 would be the family shoot I did on Sunday because I've never ever liked a family shoot I've done.
Uh, if I was again, you, I should be there.
Because and this one went above and beyond my expectations, and it was because I didn't post them. I said be yourself, and then I gave like small instructions, and it just turned out great. I asked him to do stupid things. I told him to blow fart bubbles on her face. Like, who the hell says stuff like that? And he did it, but the reaction was laughter, and I told him to pretend like he's gonna drop her, and he was like, so it's just them being them, and I got the photos that I like. So that's 4. And the last one is one I actually did a few years ago. It's a milk bath photography. That one has almost 4 million views on YouTube. I still can't wrap my mind around that.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah, so I've always wanted to do a milk bath photography. There was no shoots on YouTube of that at the time, so I had to wing it. So my good friend reached out. She wanted maternity photos. And I'm like, we can do what you want to do. So the first half is like traditional maternity photos. And then I was like, can we do milk bath? So I bought all the greenery, the milk, the flowers. I staged the whole thing in my bathtub. And I was like, let's do this. And those photos it blew my mind. It was that in that moment I knew like I'm way more creative than I give myself credit for. And so I can't begin to tell you like how many hundreds of photographers hit me up from YouTube. Like, I've been looking for this type of like behind the scenes. I couldn't find it. And so many people tagged me in their photos. Like, if it wasn't for her, I would have never known how to do it. And like, yeah, so that was like the first time in my life it's like, okay, I'm doing something right because all these amazing photographers are looking to me for help. I gotta be good, right? I have to be good.
Yeah. And I think when you posted, I don't know where I heard you say so. I think you told me about it or something came up. I'm like, what the hell's a milk bag? Like, why are you wasting good milk in a bag? I'm like, I was like, huh? Then you told me about, oh, okay, okay. Then I saw you hit the million. Yo, wait a minute. So when you saw that first million, when you saw your first thousand,
When I saw my first 10,000, I was like, okay, this is unreal. This is crazy. And then over like a week, I was at 60,000. I was like, oh hell no. What? It blew my mind. And then like over time, it's steadily climbed. Like it's crazy. It's crazy.
I've been there before. Like when I first hit, when I first got on YouTube, I did my first. I remember it's when that whole Tupac hologram thing happened back at Coachella, and a buddy of mine like, "Yo, T, like, what's up? I think you need to do a video on this." Like, all right, I do. I watched the video and I reacted to it and talked about it, and that was the first time I hit 1,000. Then that first 1,000 mark you ever hit is like, yo. But then I started making more videos. Then another video I did, I hit 100,000. I guess like,
Wow.
wow. When I hit 100, I like, wait a minute. I haven't hit a million yet, but still, like, when I do, I'm gonna be hyped. But I remember you used to do vlogs on YouTube too. What happened?
I got pregnant. And I can't begin to tell you. I think people underestimate like how much time you have to dedicate to your child.
Yeah,
So for me, it's like everything in my life revolves around her schedule. I work when she sleep. I go to do photo shoots from my husband's home so he can watch her. So like everything revolved around taking care of her. And it's very time consuming, honestly. But the months that I've been gone, the year I've been gone, I was legit recording videos every week. And I had hundreds of videos on my computer and I just didn't have the time to edit them.
right,
Because for me, I don't know why it takes me so long, but it'll take me 4 hours to edit a 15, 20-minute vlog.
right.
And I'm just like, I don't have that kind of time to dedicate. And on top of that, people don't know like the advertising aspect of it. Like I have to like blow this up on Twitter and advertise this on Facebook and advertise on Instagram. And all that takes time. And so for me, it's like I just didn't have that kind of time to dedicate. Do I want to do it again? Yes. I get asked weekly when you so I just gotta figure it out. I don't know if I'm gonna come back and do vlogs, but I definitely want to come back and do photography because people that's where people have been asking like I need you to come back and do behind the scenes. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. That's how I was at YouTube. Like, I'm starting, but I've been doing some stuff um, on YouTube. I just been trying to rebuild my channel back up, and my numbers um, going up again. So I'm like, my views ain't going up, but my subscribers are going up. So I'm like, that's cool. So I'm just trying to rebuild my channel. That's why I brought this segment back on my channel. And
Yeah.
I did another one called How I Got Started, the Jones Files, and I got this. I'm just trying to crank out as much content as I can because I've noticed the more I put out, the more my subscribers go up.
Yeah.
So anything you want to plug before we get out of here, Miss Ashlyn?
I don't really want to plug personally, but business wise, I am the Fox and Photo on Instagram and Facebook. So if you're looking for a photographer, I'm always here. I guess if you're looking for skincare and beauty or just mother daughter moments, then I'm Ashlyn Manghane on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram.
Right on, right on. And this has been another episode of Coffee with Jones. Tune in every Friday. This one he's going to be jumping off, and all the links going to be in the description. So y'all have a good day. Any topics y'all want me to tackle on the next episode, I will tackle them. And like always, comment, like, subscribe, and we're out of here.